This video was from Tuesday, June 8th, 2021. Thank you. Last night, no watering this morning. Just did some weeding earlier. Probably going to harvest some of these turnip greens again. It's been about a week, maybe 10 days. They've already grown back. I topped these off and cooked them maybe 7, 8 days ago. This is how quick they grew back. These things were tasty. I think these were the 7 top turnips. They were good. That's our overgrown Chinese cabbages. Those things grew pretty good too. Tasty. Not as tasty as a pet chai, but still pretty good. I guess that's a variety of bok choy maybe. That's our potato that came out of the compost bin. That's butternut squash that spread out all over the place. That one came out of the compost bin too. Something's making a bunch of noise back in the woods over there. Looks like we've already got a pod growing on there right there. Thing grew big quick. I can't remember which one of these is which. One of these is kabocha and the other one's a butternut as well. I think that's the butternut too. The soil down here is pretty decent. I wish all of it was like this up here. This is nice sandy loam. A little bit of sand, a little bit of clay, a little bit of organic, whatever, whatnot. This stuff up over here is pretty rocky. Found some seeds this morning, a bunch of different seeds in a pack I ordered from, I don't even know when. Maybe last year, maybe the year before that. But had another thing, better melon in there. And some more long beans, okra, some more eggplant. I think those will do good right down here. If I put a trellis up around it right here, they'll do good. Because the soil down here did pretty good. You get up over here on this side, that's rocky. The further up you go, the more rocky it gets. Stuff grows in it, it just doesn't grow very well. Except for right down here. I grew upo down here last year, the bottle gourd, and it spread out everywhere. This is the loofah starting to grow up here. Starting to vine. I planted better melon right over here, but they haven't even come up yet. I found another pack of bitter melon. I think I'll move them someplace else. Because like I said, this is a lot of rock over here. They didn't do good. Long beans didn't do good over here last year. They grew, but not very well. That's the long beans right there. They're growing a little bit. We tried to bust this soil up over here with the rocks and added some compost in here. But still, these things should already be 4 or 5 feet tall. And they're just not doing it. Meanwhile, the okra right here is actually growing pretty good. It's okra, so it'll pretty much grow in almost any condition. Peppers are real teeny over here. They're growing slightly. These are everything in here got hit by a late frost. All the peppers, all the tomatoes were I mean, there were no leaves on them, stems all turning black. They look nasty. They grew back, most of them. These eggplant are doing pretty good. I don't know where this pepper came from, but it's must have been dropped pod last year. These are the Black Beauty eggplant. That pepper, I have no idea yet. It's growing fairly decent for being over here. I mean, just coming up from whatever pod dropped last year. Got some banana peppers coming in here. And I don't know what those are. I know those are bananas. That's purple cayenne right there. You can tell by the blossoms are purple and the stems are purple on there too. They're all mixed up over here. I probably couldn't see what I was planting to read on the side of the thing. So you have basically purple cayenne, don't know, could be bell. Another purple cayenne. And another purple cayenne. This is something we didn't plant. It had tomatoes here last year. It must have dropped some tomatoes because they're growing in bunches over here. Eggplant. That's all our tomatoes again. There's some jalapenos in here somewhere. And sweet bananas, hot bananas, bell, banana peppers. I think there might be some poblano in here somewhere. And that's one of the ones that got frozen. It's kind of teeny. Not sure of that. Probably a bell, I think. Thought one of these had a pepper on it already. I can't find it, but there's one in there somewhere. That's a cowhorn pepper. It's already got some growing on there. That thing, they grew these last year. Just one, because that's all it needed was one. The stalk on that thing's probably an inch thick by the end of the year. Heavy producer. That, don't know, that's one of the ones that got frozen. It's kind of teeny. This one here, don't know, but it's doing pretty good. Got a little blooms on there. That cucumber got frozen. That one was frozen too. Or not frozen, it got frosty. These didn't really grow. There's one down there, a little teeny one, trying to grow back. These are ones I replanted. These cucumbers here. They're doing pretty good right now. Potato, donor potato. Cucumbers already on here. Trying to train them to go up. They're going up slightly, but you know, out here with the bees buzzing around. There's some cucumbers on this one up under there somewhere. I already checked them this morning. Some sage growing. That's another thing she found in the seed pack. My wife, there's some chives in there. Gonna plant some chives over in raised planter. Mint for my iced tea. Weeds, dandelions growing up everywhere. Taro starting to pop up. That's another, I think that's a cherry tomato coming out of the, growing up out of the compost bin. I was going to move it, but I decided to just leave it in there. And that's about it, really. Hopefully within the next month, this thing will be growing good. It's growing okay now. Looks kind of barren. Got stuff spread out this year. That's our field peas taking off up here. Got kind of pulled off of weeding. I come out in the morning and try to do some. That's my physical therapy for the day. Bending, stretching, pulling weeds. You can see I need to get out here and pull more. I'm not sure what this stuff is. I think it's probably edible because it starts growing out here everywhere. I have to pull out my handy dandy plant identification app and find out which one it is. It's growing everywhere. Field peas. Field peas. Weeds. Weeds. Field peas. More weeds. Field peas. Field peas. I'm probably going to plant more of those. I found some more packs of field peas, plus I still probably got more than half a pound left from where I bought them last year. So what'll happen is when the squash goes, this whole row over here will get planted in field peas. That one's about dead. That one's dying. These are doing great. These I just cut. You see how that one's cut? It's starting to grow back. I just cut this one last week, and this one maybe 10 days ago, and that's already growing back. Been giving it away. Eating it. Probably going to try and make some kimchi out of it too. Got plenty of leaves. Probably cook and freeze some for winter. Squash looking good. Lots of bees out here this morning doing their little job. What's good too is if you take these blossoms, if you have a lot of blossoms, and you can cook the blossoms, kind of stir fry them real light, or boil them. They're good like that. Tasty, tasty little flowers. Cantaloupe starting to grow. We'll have Roma tomatoes within the next probably week. This one here is full of Romas. Lots of buds on there. Tomatoes down at the bottom. Again, I don't know which one's these or which. I know that's a Roma because it's already got Romas on there. That one, don't know. That one, don't know. That pepper right there, I think that's a bell. I think. That one probably too. That's one of the tomatoes that didn't come back really. It started to grow a little bit. That thing had no leaves on it 2 weeks ago, and it sure looked like it was dead. It came back. They all came back pretty much. That one's looking kind of peaked there. That one looks good. I think we got some kind of squash growing here. I don't remember. We didn't have squash out here last year, really, on this side. Because this row, probably this from where the tomatoes are, over here, I just added that this year. This side, so probably what, 12 feet maybe? 10, 12 feet. Eggplant doing good. Japanese Ichiban. I think those are pentong eggplant. That's doing good. That one's doing good. That zucchini right there, we got a lot of rain and wind, and it blew that thing up out of the ground. I mean, just snapped it off right at the base. I popped it back down in the ground, but I don't think that thing's going to do nothing. I think when we get moved and get settled into our new place, whenever we find it, I'm going to put a greenhouse in there, at least a little one, so I can get an early start on this stuff, or do some hoop houses in the spring or something. Usually the last week of April, mid to the last week of April is the last frost, around the 20th of April, somewhere in there. This year it hit down in the 30s in May for 2 or 3 times, and that kind of put a hamper on everything. All right, well, that's about it. Got to hit the post office this morning and see if they actually have my packages in there that I needed yesterday that they refused to deliver, because they got a new driver, and I guess she doesn't want to hurt her car or whatever. All right, you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching. Again, if you like the content, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to hit new ones. I really don't have a channel ID, really. Do a little bit of everything here. A little bit of cooking, a little bit of gardening, a little bit of equipment work. It's what I do. I'm retired. Keeps me busy. Out here doing this stuff. Keeps me active. Thanks again. Take care.